Welcome to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So today I'm going to be bringing you this project from Dreaming Tree. So let me see if I can get it a little better. This is a nice little treat box that I made. I wanted to do a box, like a 3D project. I haven't done one in recently, and I wanted to do something that was fairly simple and easy to cut and easy to make. And also use some features that I don't usually use in Design Space. So I'm going to take you over to Dreaming Tree website so you can see where I picked up this treat bag or box. This is the project from Dreaming Tree. So I've already downloaded this. Dreaming Tree has some very lovely free projects that you can cut. This just happens to be a 99-cent item. And then just so you know, there are tutorials, so you can watch every single project that Dreaming Tree produces has a accompanying video to help you assemble. So it also has several items if you're interested. You can look for free SVG files, and then you can get started and follow along till you get comfortable making any of their projects, and you can slowly graduate to other projects. So I've already added this. So for example, let's say I wanted to grab this card. You'd have to create an account. I'm not logged in right now. And then you can add it to your shopping cart and then upload it to your, download it to your computer. I've already done that. So I'm going to go to Cricut, and I've already put this on my canvas. But if you were interested, these do come in as an individual piece. I do want to be mindful that when you do bring in a Dreaming Tree project or project outside of the Cricut environment, you will have to attach these score lines. So these are basically cut lines. So, but anyway, what I really wanted to focus in on is this pattern here. So let's say you didn't have pattern paper, or you weren't pleased with your pattern paper, then you can certainly use your print then cut feature and change the pattern of these items. So let me see if I can find one. Is this it? Okay, yeah. So this is what initially came in with the file. I'll move this out the way. I'll move all of this out the way. And all I did was use my contour feature, because I only needed one of these. So I'm going to go to the bottom and contour, and then I'm just going to remove one of these because I don't need both of them. This is under operations. It's still a basic cut, but I want to change just to a print then cut. So I'm going to click here in the operations area, click on print then cut. And when that opens up, then you can see you have the color. So you can obviously change your color to any color that you would like. So let's just say I'll change it to a yellow. But I want to do a pattern. So if you will click in the print type and go to pattern, there's some pre-selected patterns already in Design Space that you can use. So let's say I'm not going to go through a lot of them, but let's say you wanted to select this pattern. Then you could certainly turn this decorative panel into a pattern, and then use your print then cut feature, and then enhance the project for any project that you're doing, and you just, especially if it has a decorative panel. Let me just tell you that you can change this, so you can edit by clicking on the edit pattern, and then you can change the scale of the pattern, so you can make it larger. You can actually discern this, like these look like little bunnies, so you can make it larger, like change that pattern, make it smaller. You can get how many you want on here. You can do a lot of things. You can have a lot of little bunnies, faces, a lot of big bunnies. It just depends. You can flip the pattern. You can flip it. I'm not sure why we're flipping it, but you can rotate it. You can do all kinds of things with this. You can flip it upside down, flip it left and right. If you just needed a few, that's pretty nice. You can bring it back in like that. You can rotate. You can do all kinds of things. I've not played with the color, so let's go back here. And then let's just pick a color. I don't know what this is going to do. Oh, this gives you another pattern. Okay, let's play with this one. Okay, I like that one. Oh, it's really nice. Let's edit. I'll make it a little bit bigger so I can kind of see. Oh, I like that. I really do. Let's edit this. And let's make it a little denser and a little too busy. That's pretty good. Okay. So you can just play with it till you get it how you like. So now I have a pattern paper, and I didn't have to go dig in my stash, although I have plenty of pattern paper, I assure you. But this was just one way for me to use some backgrounds that I already had uploaded. So ultimately this is, and I'm going to hang on to this one because I think I really like this one. This is the pattern that I chose for my next to do my next box. This is the pattern that I had. I like the little Bambi deer rabbit. And then of course I was playing with other patterns. So this was a bird and this was a dot. You know, so you can take this basic idea and then turn it into anything. So this would make a great Easter basket. This would make a great Valentine's basket. You put some hearts on. You know, the sky's the limit to what you can do with this very simple design. So once you've decided on if you're going to go that route, of course you can, again, as I said earlier, use your pattern paper in your stash. But this is one way to do this project if you weren't happy or you couldn't find a pattern that you liked in your pattern, in your paper stash. So I just make mention of it here. So I'm just going to hide these. So we're going to group these together and then I'll just hide them. And I've already cut that out, so I'm going to hide that. And then, so this is what I'm going to be assembling for you today. And then here is the base. This is part of the bottom of the basket. That's the liner. And then there's the floral embellishment here. So when you click on Make It, and of course I'm using my Joy Extra, love my workhorse. You click on Make It. And there should be two. So when I looked at this, I was like, oh, that's a lot of wasted space here. So I'm going to show you how to move this to make it one sheet. So I'm going to click on the ellipses, click Move Object. I'm going to move it to this first mat. It's there, and I'm going to move it down a little, and then I'm going to rotate it this way. And then move it down here. And I should have, and I'm going to move this up a little. And then now I can fit two of these on one piece of cardstock, and then I don't have to worry about messing up two. I get more bang for my buck. So then this is the part of the base. Then this mat is the cut layer and the liner. And then this mat is the floral embellishment. Now technically, if you wanted to, you can do the same thing and cut down some of these mats. So you could take this object and move it to this. And then what I would do is move this down in the other area, and then I would do two sheets of different colored cardstock. And then I could get this on one, cut this in one pass, and then I eliminated that 6 panel. So I eliminated 2 mats, and then instead of 6 mats, it'll do it in 4. And then that's a big time saver. So just a little tip, how to get the maximize your cutting time, because you don't have to do as many mats. Okay, so I've already cut out everything, so I'm going to bring you to my work surface for assembly. So we will start that process. So let's do that now. Okay, so here's my base. So I've chose these colors from my paper stash. And so I've gotten this paper from my local craft store. So these are my two panels. This is the base, so this will form the bottom of the bag like that. And then this is the panel at the bottom to stabilize it. So as you can see, the Cricut cut out these cut dash lines, and I didn't use the solid score line, which actually this saves a little bit of time, especially with my Joy Extra, because it does not have a scoring stylus. So the first, I'm going to put this tray to the side, and then the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and fold these. And I should have did this before, but I guess I didn't, so we'll do it today, right now. So I'm going to fold these tabs back. So if I didn't tell you what you're going to need, of course you're going to need, let me give it the supplies. So you're going to need an electronic cutting machine. So I'm using my my Cricut Joy Extra, or your Explorer series or Maker series. I don't know if you could make this on the little Joy. And you're going to need some glue. My favorite craft glue. You're going to need some cardstock, whatever you have in your stash, whatever colors. The sky's the limit. You're going to need some foam tape for some dimension. I'm going to have my bone folder. I have a little varnishing tool. I'm also using a embossing folder. So I'm using this dot Dries embossing folder, and if you're gonna do the embossing folder, you would just need oh, sorry if my head's in the way. Drop something. You would need a die cutting machine, a manual die cutting machine or electric die cutting machine, not the Cricut, to use your embossing folder. And for that I used my Gina K Intracut. So I've done all of that off camera. Okay, so I've went ahead and folded all of my folds. Going to do some inking. I haven't mentioned that. I gotta go pull out some ink. So I've got everything folded, and I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some ink. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of inking. So I've decided, let me bring that up to you, is to use my Memento inks. This is the Moroccan, and then this is the Tangelo. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink these, and then I'm going to come back when I finish inking, but I'll get it started. I've got a finger dauber that I like to use for this, and I'm going to ink the edges. Let me see if I can bring the camera down just a tad. So I'm just going to flick with my dauber on the outside edges. Just keep flicking, and I'm not going to put too much down, but I'm just going to flick. It doesn't take a lot of ink. So all I'm doing is just creating just kind of creating the shadow. And you can go as deep or as light as you want. And I'm just flicking. Just flicking the edges. Nothing too fancy. I'll just do this one panel. And then you can just build up your color. And so like you can make this shadow as deep as you would want. And it's going to really look nice. It does bring, that shading brings a little dimension to your otherwise flat project. So for this inside, I'm going to flick this way, because I definitely want to get that. I'm going to flick it so I can get it going this way. And then I'm going to flick in between the handle. You don't have to do all of this. You can just leave it as is, but it does define your project really nicely. So I'm going to keep going and lay down a little bit more color. And you'll see the difference. Okay, so you can do both sides or not. I'm just going to do the one front side. I'll see why I would do that. I'm going to do the other one. It doesn't take long. Hardest part is choosing the colors that go with your paper. That's the hardest part. And typically, when I do a Dreaming Tree project, I usually use Memento inks because that's what Leo uses. So that's what I use. I don't think about these inks until I'm doing a Dreaming Tree project. I use them on Dreaming Tree projects. So I use my Distress inks more than anything on other stuff, but for him, I use these. I'm just going in between that. Okay, so I'm going to keep that, and then what you can tell is you get this nice little shadow layer when you lay down. When you lay down that on that. Then I'm going to take this next color, this Tangelo, which is lightly, put that over there, which is a lighter orange color. And then I'm going to go around the base of this just to give it, just to knock off some of that white. But it's lighter than the Morocco color, so I should have a nice little variance there. And of course you could use your alcohol markers to do this if you needed to cover up any white core. That's usually what I end up doing. You can already see that it gives it a nice little outline. You can always flick too to add some more shading, but I'm just going to use it to outline. So if you wanted to flick and do a little color, pull in some of that color. Oh, I'll do that. Just around some of it. Looks nice. This pattern I got from I purchased from Create Fabrica and brought that in as a pattern fill. Okay. See the difference? It's going to look nice. That just enhances your project. So we'll do the other one. Go around the outline first. I really like doing these projects. These are going to make great baskets for Valentine's Day, I think. I always do something for my co-workers on Valentine's Day. I'm always looking for a new treat box, treat bag, something for Valentine's. So this is probably fit the bill. Or I might find something different. You never know. Okay, so I'm going to now take my dauber and just flick. Oops, put too much color. Just flick, flick, flick. Just a real light flick. And all I'm doing is just pulling in some of that orangey color onto making a shadow on this basket. It doesn't have to be super, super fancy. Boom, that's it. Put that up. I'm going to label that dauber. There we go. Okay, so now that I have my inking done, and I didn't do a lot of ink, the next thing, let's just do a little one here because I can tell they're not all the same. And you're just gonna glue these down, and I'm just gonna use my liquid glue. Okay. So let's do that. Let me bring that back up. Let me roll the camera back up. There we go. So let me move this out the way. Boop. Let's just put a little bead of glue on here. Okay, and so what you want to do is make sure that you get a even border all the way around. So the best way to do is to line it at the top where the handle is, trying to get it even here in this area, and then everything else should fall into place. That's mine. That's inside. And so I don't know if you can tell, but you do get like a shadow. Then you get a little bit of shadow here, so you can get a little shadowing all the way around. Just brings a little nice dimension. So I'll do the next panel. This project takes no time. I love the freebies from Dreaming Tree because they're not real intricate and it doesn't take a lot to put it together. I do believe, like I said earlier, the picking their colors is, if you don't go with what Leo suggested in his video, just choosing the colors or and then the ink if you're going to do inking. But I do believe it does elevate your projects when you ink. And I'm just using my block to smooth it down, just in case you have glue. Okay, so those panels are done. Get me a big sound. So I'm going to be using that. Then Alright, so now we're going to glue the panels to the base. Whoops. Feel that come up? Thought I felt something come up. No, it's over there. Alright, I'm just trying to see. Okay, there we go. Upside down. Okay. Whoops. Oh, okay. So we're going to take this, and then the next step is to glue this to this. So I'm going to take my glue, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to run my hand across here, spread that glue out, and then I'm going to take this and then center it, and I'm going to get it up right up against the score line. And then I'm going to take that and fold it over. And then I'm going to fold it. Make sure everything looks good. Next. And I'm going to do the other side the exact same way. I'm going to lay down a bead of glue. I'm going to use my finger and spread that glue out. And then I'm going to lay that panel, and I'm going to, key is to get it centered, so I'm going to center it there. Make sure you get it centered. Looks like it. I'm pushing it ever so slightly. Flip it over. Varnish. And then now we'll flip it up. So now we got our two side panels, our main panel. So now we can start doing these tabs. So I'm going to start with this tab here. Use my finger to spread that glue out. And then I'm going to turn it up and then turn it towards that way. And then I'm going to make sure I get a good seam. Whoops, popped out. Just make sure you get a good seam. You're going to fill that and you're going to move that tab. If it sticks, I don't know why I'm having trouble sticking. Okay, I'm not pulling it down tight enough. I am feeling it because I want to make sure I get a good seam. So I'm being real. And once I get it where I want it, I'm going to turn it over. And then use my bone folder to press it down on the table. I probably didn't get enough glue on that. Still didn't want to stick. Let me try that again. Okay, let's try it one more again. Turn it the other way. Get it to stick. So I'm really trying to make sure I get a nice, I don't have my panel overlapping that seam. So hold it a little. Turn it on its side. And use my bone folder to press down. Okay. I got it. Okay, good deal. That worked. Then I'll do the next tab. Spread that glue out. And then do it this way. And then make sure I have it pretty good. And I'm pinching it between my fingers like that so I can put it on the table and then make sure I run my finger. I'm not a lefty, so I want to use my right hand a lot. Okay. And then I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to be on the same side, so I'm going to turn it this way. Put my glue. A lot of my friends, when they ask, what I do in my free time, I tell them I love to create and craft, and they're like, I don't have the patience to do all of that. I says, when you're putting something together with your own two hands, and you're taking pride in your work, oh yeah, you'll have patience for it, because you're putting it together. I mean, I'm not a woodworker, but I imagine if you were a carpenter or when you're painting, or heck, even a surgeon, you're like, I did that with my own two hands, and you're going to take the time and patience to do it right. So again, spread that glue out. So I disagree with people say they don't have the patience for it. They don't think they have. But the satisfaction of putting something together, oh yeah, definitely. Okay. So I'm using my bone folder because my hands are sticky from the glue. Okay, so that's one side down, and then now you do the other side, and you're going to start in roughly the same position. I'm going to bring these tabs up so I can get to them. And you could technically do both tabs at the same time, but I'm not playing like that because I don't want to have any issues. So I'm just taking my time and getting them one at a time. I got some paper toweling there. So I'm going to make sure I get that down. And a good idea if you wanted to make like a couple for Thanksgiving, or for Halloween. Oh wow, this would be great for a pumpkin face, like do a pumpkin cutout right there for Halloween or for the fall. That'd be great. Treat bag for the candy on your desk at work. Oh yeah, that'd be pretty nice. varnishing that down a little. Okay, that's one side. Look how fast this comes together. So then we'll do the next final two tabs, and then we can put our embellishment on. And then we can call this a day. You cut out a couple of these, 2, 3, 4 of them, give them away as gifts. Alright, so I'm holding that down. Whoops. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Holding that down. Then I'll do the other one. Oh, took off a lot of glue with that. And then just put that back in there, and my hands are getting sticky. I should have wet my paper towel. I just forgot to do that, but it'll work. And then there's your box. There's your treat. Whoop. It's all put together. So the only other thing you need to do is you can, I'm just going to stick it on here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the panel. Just drop it in there, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and just rub it down like that. That's all it took. So now that's done. So now you can add your embellishment. So here's, let's do that. This is what I've cut out. Let's see, and I make sure it's that. Okay, move you out the way. So this is what I cut out. Now I could hit this one. I think what I do around the edges, just to be consistent, I'll just hit that with a little, just a little subtle flicks of Morocco. Last minute thought. I should have did it when I was thinking of it, but I didn't, so we're just going to flick that up. Make it a little bit more interesting. And so this is where you can have fun and make it your own. Especially with the pattern paper. Heck, you can even draw somebody's name on there. I'm not really doing a good job of flicking this. I'm not real serious about playing this color. Because it's a last minute thought. And I'm not being real deliberate. But it'll work. So we're going to lay this in there and make sure it's centered. Now it does come with an extra piece. You could close that up, but I'm not going to worry with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down. This is where you can get really fancy with your embossing folders and stuff. I even attempted to ink blend on it. I'll show you when I show you the other one. Just playing around. I don't know how successful I was. So the idea being, oh crap, got a little bit. You want to keep an even border for all those flowers. So before this glue sets up, I should have placed that glue better. There we go. Let's give this foil a minute to set up. Here it is. I do that just in case I have something on my hands. Okay. So now we can go ahead and lay this here, but we're going to pop this up with some foam squares. So did I put, yeah, here. Grab the scissors. So I already cut out like a little piece. So let me finish that. And these aren't anything fancy, y'all. These come straight from the dollar store. Nothing fancy. So I've got that cut piece. I'm going to put that in the center, about right there. Okay, I'm turning it over so I can make sure I can't see it. Then I'll put these in the center of the leaves. And the reason I didn't put anything here is because the stem is going to be sticking out. So we're just going to pull this up, these backers off. Oh my god, I can't believe how quick this came together. And I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue on here, just in case if I have to move it around, I can move it around, give myself a little bit of grace before that sticks. So now that I have that, you can decide which is the better side. I'm going to put it on this side. And the reason that's why I didn't put anything here, because the idea being is this could going to go right along here. So you don't want any adhesive sticking up right there. And that is the box. Yeah, so when I did this one, I did a little bit of ink blending. This was some tan paper, believe it or not. I do believe this was this color. See, here's what I was practicing with, and that's the back side. I was just playing with it with different colors, trying to bring in some of that color. And then I just used another type of embossing folder, just to kind of bring it together. So that was another quick and easy project from Dreaming Tree, a 3D project I haven't done in a while. So I would encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, just ask me, and I'll see you guys next time. So I really appreciate your support and for joining me today, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.